first episode of The Alright Chef. Now, I really wanted to bring this channel to you because I found a serious need for something simple. You know, you go on the internet and you try to find a recipe for something, and every time you click on one, all you see is like essay on essay on essay on essay about everyone talking about their kids and their life and their struggles, blah, blah. I don't care about any of that. I just want the recipe and some simple tips. So I figured I would bring that to you. So one of the questions that I posed to my family and friends on the internet recently before I started this was, what's something that you always wanted to cook or try to cook and were either never good at it or just too afraid to try? And the number one thing that people told me was poached eggs, which to me is the simplest thing you could cook. So on our first episode today, that's what we're going to be talking about. And you really only need a few things in terms of a pot, some water, some white vinegar, and of course eggs. So we're just going to jump right into it. Alright, so over here at the stove, we've taken a sauce pot. You can use a pan, you can use whatever you want really. This is what I had on the stove, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. And we put maybe about 3/4 of an inch of water into it. If you're looking for a measure, take your pointer finger and put your thumb and just kind of measure to like that line, maybe a little bit higher. Doesn't have to be perfect. But first things first, you're going to want to put a little bit of white vinegar into the pan. So what this is going to do is, I guess, raise the acidity of the water, and it helps the eggs stay together when you pour it in there. So it says about 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to eyeball it. It's probably a little bit more than 2 tablespoons, but I like vinegar. Maybe a little taste for the chef. Oof, really melts your teeth. Anyway, so go ahead and start stirring your pot. Now, I use a fork. A spoon makes it a little bit too fast, but what you want to do is, like you're in a pool when you were a kid, you want to stay on the edge and just kind of make a whirlpool. So once that starts going around and around and around, and you can see the water start moving, that's when you want to grab your eggs. Now, with the heat on this, you're going to want to bring the water to about just before a boil. You'll notice little bubbles start to form on the bottom of the pot, but it's not going to roil like it's coming to a boil. It'll be just hot enough. So then what you're going to do is take your egg, crack it on the side of your pot, give it a little bit more, and then you're going to want to take it and lower your hands as close to the surface of the water as you can. So I'm going to open it up a little bit, the egg, and I'm going to get really close and just slowly, don't touch the water like I just did and burn the absolute shit out of my fingers. And just drop the egg into the center there. And then take your fork and do the same thing again. Make the water swirl around very slowly. And what that's going to do is make a little whirlpool. And just like I said in your pool as a kid, you know, it's going to bring everything in the pan to the center. And you can take your fork and you can kind of pull the egg white into the center a little bit more, but you don't always have to if you don't want to. Man, I really burned my fingers there. That hurt. I'm no Gordon Ramsay. Alright, so what you're going to notice is the egg's going to start to cook, and you're going to want to just go ahead and stirring that up, getting that nice and moving, and that's going to bring all your egg together, and you're just going to watch it cook. You'll see that the egg whites start to solidify on the outside edge, and you know, everything's going to try to kind of stay together. And take your fork and just kind of very gently kind of lift the bottom a little bit. Don't poke the egg because you're not going to want to break it. But if you just poke it a little bit, it's going to help it be a little bit easier to get off the bottom. You know, in case it sticks a little bit, you don't want to break the yolk. Okay. Swirl the water up a little bit again. And while you're waiting for this to cook, you know, if you haven't done it already, you can go get some English muffins or, you know, some toast, like whatever you want to put the poached eggs on. I'm going to grab some English muffins. Now, normally I would toast these first, but I kind of started the video before I started poaching the eggs and kind of forgot about it, so it's alright. I'm just going to go ahead and put those off to the side. And you notice that your egg starts to solidify, starts to turn that, you know, opaque, white. And it should easily just pop off of the bottom, and you can get it right into the middle there. You know, a little bit of egg white that isn't done, but that's okay. The real tricks here are just keeping the water maybe at about a 3 if you're using gas. I don't really know about electric. I kind of hate that stuff, but You know, you can kind of play it by ear. If you know it a little bit better, you're more than welcome to try. But just keep it from boiling. And, you know, you see a little bit of steam come off, but that's all right. So, last but not least, you're going to want a slotted spoon. I got this little blue doohickey right here. But you can use wood, you know, whatever. And you're going to want to get just right up underneath that egg and just scoop it right out of the water. Now, the slotted spoon allows all the extra water to drip out, pop that bubble, and whatever. And you got your egg, and then you take your plate, and you can place your egg perfectly on top of your English muffin. So we're going to go ahead and do another one there. And we'll just fast track that. Alright, now that that last egg is cooked up, we're going to go ahead and just take the same thing, get that slotted spoon, pull that out of the water, grab our plate, go ahead and just gently wiggle that off. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay? And there you are. So we're going to go ahead and put those on the plate and go take a look at them in better light. There you have it, folks. Perfectly poached eggs. Nothing to be afraid of, something very simple. You know, to finish them off, maybe give them a little salt bay, a little pinch of sprinkling salt on each, you know. And then I don't have any pepper right now, so I'm going to use a little bit of cayenne just to give them a little sprinkle, give them a little bit of color. And you can go ahead and dig right in. You're going to see the yolks are nice and yellow, and they're going to run right out perfectly. And go ahead and enjoy. That's all I got for you today, guys. I had a lot of fun making the video. If you like what you saw, head below, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, ring that dinner bell. We got a lot of great content coming out for you later on, every Friday. Now we're just going to go ahead and give this a quick taste test. Tastes all right to me. Say bye, Aubrey.